Hello and welcome to Underneath the Hat podcast. I am your host, author, educator, entrepreneur, Cherie Simmons, and I am glad to be back with you for the new year. Happy New Year 2023. So, this is our first episode of the new year, and we are in season 4 of Underneath the Hat. And our topic for this season is Speak Over Yourself. So don't forget to make sure you subscribe and like on the YouTube channel Underneath the Hat Podcast. You can also check us out on all podcast platforms: Anchor, Overcast, Spotify, Apple, Google, Breaker, and Pocket Cast. Also, don't forget to share, be engaged. You can post questions and comments. So into the session at Cash App $YLAAT 2017 or through Zelle with the email underneath the hat at gmail.com. So again, this is the first episode of the new year. I was on a little hiatus, which lasted a week longer than I expected. But I've been learning to listen to my body, listen to myself. So I had to take an extra week to get myself together because, as I've said in the previous episodes, I am going to be stepping away from the podcast. The final episode will be on March 18th of this year. And so I've decided to dive into getting to tell you even more about me. And so one thing about me is I love music. And so I've decided for the next couple of episodes that I have left that I am going to take a different song that I really like and apply that to speaking over myself, and hopefully something I say can help you to speak over yourself. So first, a recap of what's been going on since the last episode. So I went out of town for a couple of days with my boo, and we went to Wisconsin Dells a couple of days after Christmas. I spent Christmas at home in my pajamas, eating my favorite foods, watching TV. I was okay. And then went to Wisconsin Dells, got a chance to relax and just breathe. Went back to work and started on my new venture of branching out into the field of education consulting. And so I was able to bend the ear of someone that I know that's already doing what it is that I want to do. And I got some tips from him and I applied those tips. And so I'm happy to say that it's starting to pick up some steam. People are showing interest. And so I'm excited for what's coming and having the break and the opportunity to relax, relate, release, and to get my bearings together because I know that I'm going to be moving even faster than I thought that I would. And so I'm just glad for the opportunity to be able to do something that I'm passionate about and that is my purpose. And so I will definitely keep you all posted as to what's going on. But that's what I did over my break. And for the new year, what did I do? I stayed in the house, brought in a new year. I had to set my alarm because a person fell asleep. And so I rang in a new year, and it's been good so far. It's been good so far. I did my vision board and my vision box, and I'm branching out into another journey, which I'll tell you. Hopefully, I'll be able to tell you by our last show episode. But I'm branching out into something else that I wanted to do. And so now everything is lining up to where I can do it in the right space with the right people. So I'm excited about what's to come. It's a lot of good stuff coming. So even though this podcast is ending, there are some good things that are on the horizon, and I'm excited. I'm excited. So for this episode, the song title or the song that I chose is called "Live Your Life" by T.I. featuring Rihanna. And so there's one one lyric in the song that I want to focus on. And this T.I.'s part where he says, "Unhappy with your riches because you piss poor morally." Unhappy with your riches because you piss poor morally. And so the chorus says, "Live your life, a." Basically, that's what they repeat with some other stuff. And I really like that line in the song because it speaks volumes. We have so many people who are going for the bag, as they say. I got to get my bag. And it's all about the bag. But you have some of the loneliest, troublesome, saddest, most hurt people who are some of the ones who have the most money or the richest and wealthiest, as we like to label them. And it's all because morally they aren't where they need to be. They aren't where they want to be. And I am not the richest person in the world, but I am doing very well for myself. There are some areas where I can continue to work on things financially, but I am in a place where I can be comfortable. I can do all the things that I want to do. I don't have to ask anybody for anything. And in those times where I've had to ask people for something, I've made sure that I've evaluated and reflected so that I didn't make those mistakes again and having to ask for help. And so I'm just glad that I'm able to appreciate what I have and enjoy it, because morally I know that I'm doing everything the right way. I truly believe in treating people the way I want to be treated. I truly believe in doing unto others as you will have them do unto you. I believe in being what it is that you want to see. My favorite quote is by Marian Wright Edelman that says, "You can't be what you don't see." And so I practice that every day of being something that people want to look up to. And someone that people want to follow, even though that's not my objective. I live my life with good character, and that I do things in private and in public that would cause someone to want to say, "Cherie is a good person. Cherie has good character. Cherie has a good head on her shoulders." So because my moral compass is intact, the blessings that I've been given and the things that I've been allowed to do, I can enjoy them fully and be satisfied with them, because I don't always have the mindset or the need of thinking, "I need more, I need more, I need more." You have people who are wealthy, successful, rich, but all they think about is getting more, outdoing the other person. And that's because morally, they're piss poor, as T.I. says. We see it all the time on TV and on Instagram and on TikTok and Facebook and Twitter and all those other platforms. Everybody's trying to outdo someone else. Everybody's trying to one up someone else. That crab in the barrel mentality. I'm going to stop you from doing it so I can get higher than you. I'm going to climb on top of you and knock you down and use you to propel myself forward. And you can't truly be happy when you're willing to let someone else suffer because you're trying to outdo them. You can't be happy if you're willing to do something wrong to somebody else in order to get to where you want to be. And we have so many people nowadays during this day and time in this generation that's coming up and the one before that everything is, I gotta be better than the person before me. Whatever I got to do, I want to be better. If I got eyelashes, I want my eyelashes to be the biggest, most snuffleupagus eyelashes I can find because I want to one up the next person. If I get braids, they got to go all the way down to the ground because the person I saw before only stopped at their butt. Like everybody is trying to one up the other person. And we end up doing things that we normally wouldn't do and shouldn't do in order to be better than somebody else. Instead of just recognizing that you have gifts that other people don't have. Everybody in this world is unique in that our DNA is different, our fingerprints are different. No one has the same fingerprints as me because I'm unique. There are things that I can do that other people cannot do. Even though I'm an educator and have been for almost 18 years, the way I teach is completely different from the way someone else would teach it. Because we all bring something different to the table. We all bring a different perspective and an idea of how to do things. And so you don't have to try to one up anybody. You being you is the one that you need. That's the one up you need. If everyone were to be themselves, this world would be a great place. My former pastor used to say, if everyone in this world was like me, what kind of world would this be? And I can say for some people, it would be a world of torment. It would be a world of sadness. It would be a world of backstabbing, It would be a world of hurt, a world of pain. It would be miserable. Because the way that we treat other people, if everybody in the world did that, those people themselves wouldn't even want to live in that world. And so that's my message today. Yes, it's good that you have goals. Yes, it's good that you want to do better than your parents. Yes, it's good that you want to have better for your children. But at what cost? At what cost? Morally, what are you doing to get the bag, to get to where you want to be? Are you able to fully enjoy the fruits of your labor? Or are you always trying to outdo somebody else, outshine somebody else, because you don't feel that it's enough room at the top? I'll leave you with this. There is a difference between, and I've done an episode about this. The one thing I love about eagles is that they're a solitary bird. If you notice that if you start on the ground, the bird you see the most impacts are pigeons. And as you go higher up the elevation or the altitude, the amount of birds in that group decreases until eventually the highest flying bird is the eagle. And you never see the eagle in a pack because everyone can't breathe at that level. And so it's lonely at the top. And you don't want to be the only one up there because of how you got there. But also remember that the people you stepped on to get there, you're going to see them when you come back down. So morally, be mindful of what you're doing and make sure that you're treating people the same way you would want to be treated. And as my former pastor used to say, if everyone in this world was like you, is it a world you would want to live in? So again, I want to thank you all for joining me on Underneath the Hat. Make sure you check out, subscribe, and like the YouTube page underneath the Hat Podcast. Also, check us out on Anchor, Overcast, Spotify, Apple, Google, Breaker, and Pocket Cast platforms for your podcast. Make sure you share the page, share the video, be engaged, post questions and comments. Also, check out my books. If you type in Cherie Simmons in Amazon, you'll see my 2 books underneath the hat. And it's that size for a reason. Great reads. Go ahead and pick those up. They're also available wherever books are sold. So again, Happy New Year. Here's to a great 2023. I heard someone say it's the Jordan year, the year of Jordan. And to me, he is the greatest of all time. So I pray that this is everyone's GOAT year, the greatest of all time year. And in order to do that, you have to make sure that you are living a moral life. Again, remember to take care of yourself underneath the hat. And Lord willing and the creek don't rise. I'll see you next week.